Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Okay, so this week's Feature Friday was on Studio Chum, sort of like you all know. Actually, we didn't know it was owned by Mnet, and the big,
Fantastic partners. I mean, come on.
big K-pop sort of dance performances, and we were discussing some of the best dancers in the world. Blackpink's Lisa or La Lisa definitely fits that description, and we actually think that she's probably one of the best dancers just across all industries in the world. And then having Bale here, I thought it would be cool to sort of check out somebody's dance, because she wasn't actually featured on that Feature Friday podcast, because they haven't been to Chum yet, Blackpink.
No, they haven't.
Or La Lisa. I hope they do at some point.
I'm sure it'll blow it up.
So I thought we sort of get your feedback on why, like for eyes like mine, who, sort of untrained eyes or whatever, I just like sort of was visually captivating. I've always said this, she's probably one of the best, or it's probably an argument to be the best dancer in K-pop, and one of the best dancers all over the world. So I thought, I'd just get your feedback on what are kind of the things that she does really well. Let's give it a watch. God, that's actually a banger by Chris Brown. Turn up the music.
I love this early footage. It's so, uniquely cool to see.
Because I guess you're seeing her here in her raw form, right?
But it's funny, though, because she was such a finished product then.
Right.
If you pay attention, that everything is so detailed. The charisma, everything is so precise. I bet she was one of those trainees that people used as examples.
For dance.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, she's always had a bizarre sharpness that I guess, I don't know, to you it probably makes sense technically, but to me it's like the it factor kind of thing.
The thing is, to me, what it really is outstanding from her is not just the quality of the movements, but how she makes the movements work for her body type.
Right.
She really understands what works for her body better than nobody else. So when you're seeing the commercial dance aspect of it, it's when the most of her personality and charisma comes through, because she understands certain angles that just work better for her than for anybody else.
What the fuck?
You go, girl.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
I've never seen her do that. That's so cool, yeah. Nice.
Sick.
Yeah, she does seem like the model student.
Like brah, brah, brah. Okay, can we have a moment for her blonde? This was one of the reasons I wanted to go blonde with that hairstyle, okay? The bangs and stuff, sick. So hard to maintain though. Yes, girl.
To be fair, I thought this, I don't know if they ever released this officially, because it was just in the documentary.
No, because this is part of their
The
training.
training. I know, I thought it was actually so good when we watched it.
Yeah, this isn't even part of their finished product. They hadn't even debuted then. But she, if you put it into perspective to the other dancers here, not to compare them, because they are very different in stylistically speaking, but there are certain things that she's just has learned to hone in. So the angle of the head, exactly to what extent she has to point in her chin into, to how to move her shoulders to emphasize the body rolls and stuff like that. Again, it's just the understanding of her body and what it can do.
Right.
This is cool though. I love this old footage.
I don't think I've ever seen this.
Didn't have a get it.
Yeah, because to me she's what commercial hip-hop should look like.
Chew.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It's so clean,
But you see, this is a piece of cake for her. This
Right.
style is so easy.
it's just visually captivating, I guess, for
She
the general
probably
public.
learned this in 30 minutes to professional standards. This is ready to go kind of thing. Yeah, this is easy stuff.
Cake for her.
Yeah. I wish we could see more of the acrobatic Lisa.
Yeah, right?
Right? How cool is that?
Maybe the risk
Yeah,
factor is not
definitely.
worth it.
Yeah.
Especially
I
at the
totally
level
agree.
she's in.
If you're not an acrobat, it's not worth the risk. Plus, she doesn't need it to complement her dance abilities at all whatsoever.
Yeah, people look at I've seen it when sometimes we talk to her talk about her to other fans and stuff like that, and it's there is something really bizarre about Lisa, where she does have this sort of
Halo effect.
where you're it's when you look at the people just watching it, you sort of look and I found myself doing that. I remember like when we first sort of discovered Lisa and stuff. I guess now you get used to because that's the level she's brought.
Yes.
You know, so you know when you watch Lisa, it's like you're gonna get some of the highest level of dance. But I remember like in the first couple of times, then I was like, what the fuck? Who is this woman? You know, you kind of just get lulled in
And I think that again, that just comes with like there's a level of I think I said it in the studio trim special that we did. It's like there's a level to dance that goes beyond superficial dancing, that is not just for the commercial aspect, is not just for the striking ability of dance itself. It's to create more than that. And that's because the dancers that provide that type of performances seem to have a really strong, solid foundation in the true essence of dance in different styles too. So even though Lisa here it's a very commercial dancer, like her strongest styles are between hip hop and commercial hip hop and sultry R&B dancing and stuff. The idea of having somebody with such strong foundations allows you to see movements like this subtle movements right here that just make sense because she understands how to make them work in her body. And I know I've said this repeatedly today, but it's really hard to make emphasis of something that comes with years upon years of practice and years of understanding how to contort your body to make it work.
Right.
So you gotta kind of have to
becoming
become
a master
obsessed.
of movement.
It's not only it's not only becoming a master. You have to become obsessed and like overanalyze everything, because if you're learning a sequence of steps or you're learning a choreography, you understand that certain things have to be in a place at a certain moment in the given beat, but then goes beyond that, and it's like, okay, so how do I make that hit differently? How do I make that specific body roll look really good in my body type? Because every body's different, so you have to understand like what's the best way of making your back bend be the most impressive without actually having to go to the extent of being contorting yourself in inhumane ways. Like you have to, like for example, that shot right there. You see her angle of the head. It's so level to her shoulders, and there's a certain lean in towards the shoulders that also allows the movement to look even more emphasized.
Like in comparison to the dancer to her left, it's a lot straighter her shoulder lines, I guess. But here is
so you're seeing a complete lean, even the level of the hips. So you're seeing somebody who's become obsessed with the visual effect of the body, and what your duty as a dancer actually is to be alluring, especially when it comes to commercial dancing. It's commercial, so you have to sell it. How do you sell it? And that's what she's so great at.
Truly good, man.
Amazing. I could talk about her frigging styles for hours.
Yeah, sometimes we sound like broken records, but I genuinely think she's one of the best dancers in the world at the moment.
The subtleties.
Because you could just look at this for hours.
Look at the people going crazy. It's just so freaking cool. And then the thing that she takes her time with it all as well. She knows how long for how well it needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, she also understands
musicality and rhythmicality better than anybody else. I agree. So freaking cool.
You can be at the beginning of the beat or at the end, even with movement, as you would in percussion.
Same, yeah.
And sometimes she does exploit this type of stuff, which lets me know she knows. I've never seen this. That's fucking sick.
Yeah, this is great.
Where's Charlie? That has to be one of the most covered songs ever.
That's a really good progression of songs, by the way.
And I guess this is when in the time that like I think Blackpink was yet to release their first album.
Yeah, this is like in their first world tour. Yeah. That's really cool. That's what I liked about that concept of the tour, that they allowed the girls to really showcase the best things that they had without actually having to put out music, which is the craziest thing ever for a tour concept.
What was crazy is that now maybe, given the development of all four girls, and you know at this, because we're discussing Lisa, the sort of the development of her even as an artist in the terms of music that she was making and stuff like that she ended up making for her solo. To a certain extent, you do have to attribute some of that. What would you call it? Marinating of creativity and marinating of
styles, and leaning towards personality more, to
the lack of music that they had earlier on, because perhaps it just kind of had to happen that way for La Lisa to be so successful in terms of a solo. Perhaps it had to happen that way for Rose solos to be so successful. Still waiting for Jesus, and that's one that I'm really looking forward to, and I hope it's like a winter thing, because I think she'll really do well there. I think that's one of the reasons. I mean, with Jenny, I guess she was the first member to sort of have a solo.
That's right.
But yeah, sometimes you just got you look at that and you think, well, maybe now they have 2 albums, and where the fuck's my album, dog?
Yeah. No. In conclusion, I just think Blackpink is really well balanced when it comes to each member and when they provide on stage, and together as the latest projects, are a consequence of, you really see this really well put together commercial product that it's just enjoyable for everybody. And again, for Lisa, it's just one of those moments that you're like, you can really bask into somebody who's taken the time to refine a specific skill. And the La Lisa films, the Lily films coming into the picture, bro, that broke the internet into a new level, and it's totally understandable. And I wish
show the level, right?
Yeah,
elite.
I wish more of fantastic dancers from around the world. They didn't have to be, specific just to this genre of music. Could also go ahead and venture into doing stuff like this, because it's such a spotlight. It's such it's a very vulnerable type of project, because there's no way of hiding anything at all.
And I guess this is like Lisa's baby.
Yes, correct, correct. But it is fantastic, and I love them, and I can't wait for a new one.
Well, let us know what you guys think. Also, this will be really fun, I think, to sort of sit down with Bale and check out other great dances that all of you guys think that are.
There's fantastic dances from around the K-pop industry, the Korean music industry, that I would love to break down.
If you want to hear Bale and I talk more about dance, you can check out the podcast where we checked out Studio Chum. And apart from that, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.